Yeah. Pretty girls, ask them do they smoke? Ask them what do they know? Ask them can we go? Pretty girls, a sun shines in the air, yeah. A wonderful everywhere, yeah. I'd like to send a special shout out to the Backyard Band. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Anyway, shout out to all go-go fans and all people who are not go-go fans, but you are a go-go fan, you just don't know it yet. That's how I look at it. Anyway, welcome to Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is the place where we set oppression ablaze. It is the Friday night edition. It's good to see y'all. How's everybody doing out there today? Tuesday, we pulled a Black Liberation media move and hit y'all with the replay. Y'all know I don't even really be doing replays over here like that. I'll just take the night off. But I was inspired by the ear doctor. I said, why don't I said I got 1,000 videos up here. We could run back one of them jonts. And I took further inspiration from the ear doctor and tried to find one that was a year old. Ish, roundabouts. If you missed Black Liberation Media this past Tuesday, you should go back and and relook at that episode. It was a throwback like a motherfucker. it was throwback like shit. Interesting times. What a difference a year makes, right? So I hope everybody is doing well tonight. We've got a pretty full show in store. I have an update, not about a story that I covered here per said. Um, let me just for anyone who hears me say that, I'm saying per said on purpose. Okay, I know it's per se. Okay, but I like to say per said because I'm half country. But anyway, per said, like I said, it's not a story that I covered here per se. But it's a story that was making the rounds virally about a black teen in Florida who was being harassed and followed by some fucking crackers in the neighborhood. This happened in Sarasota, Florida. A lot of people were calling for something to be fucking done because goddamn, 2024, these motherfucking crackers was treating Sarasota like a sundown town. The sundown town, I'm certain it already is, but the problem is it was broad fucking daylight. It's like, goddamn, Nick, you look at these whiteys checking in early for work. Nigga, wait, wait till the sun go down before you start peppering random black folks with questions. Where do you belong here? Where are you going to? Where are you coming from? Just chill out. Wait till the sun go down, like your ancestors used to. But anyway, hold on. So there's been an update. Some sort of no, I was going to say revenge, but not, it's definitely not revenge. Let's say karma. We believe in karmic justice here on this channel. A little bit of karma has come for them crackers. I would like to tell y'all about that. Hopefully that will cleanse our palates. The main story I want to talk about tonight has to do not so much with Diddy, but Diddy, I'm using Diddy as the catalyst, as sort of the springboard to at least chat, talk, converse about the issue. A set of new lawsuits every week. This man getting hit with the lawsuits. Keep them coming. Keep it coming with the drumming. Let's keep that up. Tell your story. Run them pockets if it comes to that. Hopefully it will. Regardless, this week, I believe 7 new lawsuits were filed against Diddy. And out of those 7, 4 of them were by men, one of whom was alleged to be a minor when his encounter with Diddy happened. And I'm very proud of these folks, all of them, but the men especially. And I can't say especially because I don't want to overly center men when it comes to discussions about sexual abuse and assault. But the problem is, I don't think men are even brought up most of the time, and it's to all of our detriments, right? It doesn't do any benefit to any survivor, regardless of your gender identity, if we don't help men acknowledge that these things do happen to them, and what can, should, ought to be done in response to this happening to them. So and number one, also, outside of Diddy, outside of this realm of celebrity, the rates at which boys and men are assaulted just in everyday life. And there's a story out of Houston that I want to bring you about a young man, not a teen, but a young man who was assaulted by a man, another person whom he held in some esteem. And this young man didn't hesitate to raise the alarm about what this person did to him. This person was the former assistant principal of the high school that he graduated from. He was I say former, he's not been relieved of his job, but he was the assistant principal of the high school that this young man graduated from. And we'll have the story. I want to talk about that. So anyway, there's that, but I want to kick it off with Kamala. And before I bring everybody down, let me shout out some of the folks. So first of all, what's up to V? V, you sent some Cash App support like a week and some change ago. I don't think I properly thanked you. So thank you, V, for your ongoing support of this platform. I appreciate it. Patrick S broke us off with a little something, something. Thank you so much, Patrick S. Shout out to Courtney. Courtney was rocking her BIDWKB gear whilst walking the baby Simba. So thank you, Court, and thank you for your wonderful text. I appreciate that. And everybody that's that's hanging around and got something to say. Okay, well, shout out to all the folks that's in the chat. Please engage. What something? Yes.
No.
Okay. No. Okay. Perfect. But shout out. I see you there in the chat, Latif. What's up, Courtney? What's up, Abby, Anna, Mama Lorraine, Donnie? Afraid not. Is my nephew Dawn? My nephew Dawn in here. What's up, Valley girls? How you doing, babe? That's my niece, one of my nieces. Thank you, Valley girls. Hey, WB just dropped a super chat. We love that. Yeah, keep all that coming. I'm gonna do y'all like Kamal do y'all. I'm gonna start. Y'all can't leave. Now you can't leave until I run them pockets. But that's the I don't go like that. But that's how you get money though. You have to have a New York nigga on your team. Like New York niggas is gonna get that money, even if it's in the name of righteousness. it's going to be acquired if a New York nigga is involved. Like, oh, the money's getting got. Fret not. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys joining me today. So here we are. 30 minutes away from this funky ass election, this presidential damn election that is just looming on the horizon, causing even some interesting discussions on Black Liberation Media on the Remix Morning Show, the Friday morning edition. Shout out to the Brooklyn girls, by the way, Renee and Ricky Ryan. Brooklyn. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. But regardless, here we are being beat upside the head with it's Kamala of fascism. And here from corners like this platform, like Black Liberation Media, we keep trying to tell people your dumbass already lives in fascism, okay? Your dumbass lives in fascism right fucking now. You don't have to wait for Trump. It's not going to go away if Kamala is elected president. Your dumbass lives in fascism right fucking now. If your dumbass didn't already fucking know, dumbass. But for reasons that are very obvious to me, guys, you guys know how I feel about, the fall down job that the American media does anyway. The American mainstream media does any fucking way, just falls all down on the job. Let's not forget the Black journalists be falling down on the fucking job too. And Kamala has been making the rounds to so-called Black media. Honestly, I do not understand how all the smoke and the shade room qualify as Black media, but these are the times we find ourselves in. But Kamala did go holler at what I would call a real fucking journalist, and that's Roland Martin. And we may have political disagreements. We may even disagree on the issues with Rolly Roll, or legitimately have disagreements. I think Roland is a capable journalist. I do. I think Roland is the issues of quality that he invests his reporting in. I'm with them shits. All this caping and chirping and stepping and fetch it for the Democrats. I'm not with that shit. Okay, I'm definitely not with that shit. When Roland is on his, I'm trying to free Black people, I guess. From I don't know from what to what, I guess I should say. But when he gets on his blickety black, I'm with that. I was not with the tone or the tenor of the Kamala one-on-one that she sat down with Roland with. I wanted to play a couple clips. Hold on, let me pull up my doc here. Because it's quite obvious that Kamala is not, I guess, going to be asked any real fucking questions. And I'm sorry, whatever that shit with she and Brett Baer from Fox News, whatever the fuck that passed for, I would not call that real journalism either. You know what I'm saying? Brett Baer obviously was trying to score some points with the Fox News audience. And in the midst of that, you know, if you don't let the person speak and answer their question, then that's what that looks like. That doesn't look like you trying to get to the fucking root of where they stand on a given position or issue. It looks like you just trying to antagonize and start a fight, which, you know, fine, because it's Kamala, so fuck her. but from a journalistic perspective, I didn't gain anything from whatever the fuck Brett Baer called himself doing, nor did I gain too much from whatever Rowley called himself doing. So this is the answer here, not so much the question, but this is going to be a response that Kamala gave to Roland about the way that Donald Trump looks at Black people and the way he views Black people. And she even goes on to mention the Haitian migrants. So I want us to take a look at this clip real quick and listen to what Kamala told Rolly Roll. Let's go.
There's, first of all, a danger in terms of understanding there are two choices in this election and understanding what Donald Trump intends for middle-class families. Two, look at it in the context of how he actually thinks and talks about Black folks in America. And you and I have talked about this before. He is not looking out for folks when he was a landlord and would not rent to Black families, sued for it. When he took out a full-page ad in the New York Times against those 5 teenagers, Black and Latino, who were innocent, saying they should be executed, the Central Park 5. When you look at the first Black president of the United States, and he had birther lines, and now you look at Black immigrants, legal immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, and he gets on a debate stage and says they're eating their pets? Come on. This man is dangerous. Not to mention Roland. Let's fast forward to right now. His staff won't let him do a 60 Minutes interview. Every president for the last half century has done one, anyone who's running for president. Everyone has done it, except Donald Trump. He will not debate me again. I put out my medical records. He won't put out his medical records. And you have to ask, why is his staff doing that? And it may be because they think he's just not ready and unfit and unstable and should not have that level of transparency for the American people. There's a real choice in this.
So while some of those things may be true pertaining to Trump, unstable, not ready for prime time, which, by the way, me, your homie, I told y'all that after the first fucking debate. Everybody was focused on how incoherent Biden was. I said, nigga, did you hear Trump? am I the only one who heard fucking Trump not being able to find 2 sentences to put together? But no, okay. All that shit at the end, though, he won't do 60 Minutes. She turned over her medical records. All that shit is ancillary. All that shit is a matter of not profundity, not redundancy. The Lord, what's the word I'm looking for? Though it's perfunctory. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. It's perfunctory. Look that shit up. It's a word, and I'm using it right. God damn it. That shit is perfunctory because that shit doesn't tell you much about anything, right? Now, what does tell me a lot about Kamala's answer there is that I'm pretty sure Roland did not follow up with, well, Madam Vice President, for all the danger you say that Donald Trump has done to Black people, his refusal to rent while he was a landlord, his taking out of a full-page ad, defaming and calling for the execution of the now exonerated 5, the Central Park 5, what he says about Haitian migrants. Well, let's look at your record. Let's look at what some Black people say and the ways that you have been dangerous in your position as an elected official with actual power, understand, like Trump, very well, a definite piece of shit as a landlord, as somebody who had the money to smear these five black teenagers from New York and defame them publicly. But Kamala sat in seats of power, kids. Kamala was state's attorney in San Francisco. She was the attorney general of California. She was a sitting U.S. senator. She is Joe Biden, Joe, Mr. Crime Bill Biden. She's his vice president. Like, her policies have absolutely caused harm to black people. Okay. And ask the people in the Bay Area. Okay. Ask the people who stood with Kamala when, as I believe, as state's attorney. I'm not sure if she said this as attorney general of California, but when she was repping the Bay Area, she ran in opposition to the death penalty, but then had to go to I think the Ninth Circuit and defend the death penalty, right? She, after California made marijuana recreationally legal and for sale with tax on the shit and everything, when there were people sitting in California's prisons who were eligible to be released, she argued for them to remain in jail. Why? Oh, why, you ask? Well, because California, through their Department of Corrections, utilizes the labor of incarcerated people to go fight wildfires. Incarcerated people in California can go fight the wildfires. The fucked up thing is a side note about this shit, once they get out of jail, they cannot apply to be firefighters. Isn't that crazy? Like, so they will use cheap or slave prison labor to fight wildfires and not allow these people to come out and serve the public upon their reentry to become firefighters. But Kamala said, well, wait, if we let all these niggas out of jail for weed, who's going to fight my wildfires for free? We can't do that. Keep them in jail just a little bit. I mean, the way that she was able or willing to just barter people's freedom to have access to a reliable source of prison labor for literal life or death work is astonishing. Like, that actually caused harm to people. The truancy thing everybody knows about. But again, even if she only went after, and again, no matter how many people she went after for her anti-truancy policy in San Francisco when she was there, the fear, the panic, the anxiety that even discussing such a policy put into the hearts and the minds of people living in that area. I mean, she's a terrorist. Oh, and she supports genocide. Like, I'm just curious why follow-up questions don't seem to be allowed when talking with Kamala about her policies and the kind of president that she'll be. And most importantly, I think it's totally fair to ask her what the fuck is she going to do in her administration specifically for black people. I don't have a problem with that being asked. Hold on, wait, but let me back this up for a second, because she mentioned Trump. And she talked about him talking negatively about the Haitian migrants. Pull up that article real quick for me, Will. I think I'm going in order here. Yeah, it looks right. So this came out October the 4th. And it says the U.S. will not renew this policy they have allowing migrants from certain countries to remain here in the country. It's the parole program. And Reuters has this piece. And basically it's this. So there's a parole program for migrants from different countries. Okay. However, the 4 countries that the U.S. is not going to renew, and when I say the U.S., I mean the Biden administration, they are not going to renew this particular status. This is not temporary protected status. I think I had misspoke on the Remix Morning Show and I said Biden is ending TPS for Haitian immigrants. That's not accurate. This is what this is. For people who immigrated from Haiti, Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, the U.S. is not going to renew this particular 2-year parole program. Now, interestingly enough, now the Biden administration says that folks from these four countries can still remain here and reapply under different programs. They can apply for asylum, they can apply under different programs. But from this particular program, 530,000 migrants from Nicaragua, Venezuela, Cuba, and Haiti will lose their status, their eligibility to be here legally. They have to reapply. Interestingly enough, under the same parole program, migrants from Ukraine and Afghanistan had their shit extended and renewed. I said, oh, I said, okay, I see. All this is under Joe Biden. And by the way, I'm glad, I hope that it gets remembered more, but it's not just folks from Central and South America who are immigrants coming to this country. We have people from Haiti. We have people from different Caribbean countries. We have people from Africa who will, if they can't come here directly, will travel to other countries and try to cross via the southern border. So when we talk about these policies, keep in mind, we are talking about Black folks also, though that should not be the reason that you care. You can add it to the reasons that you care. As a fucking humanitarian, you shouldn't give a shit who the fuck is trying to cross the southern border, because as much as you deserve to be here, they deserve to be here. All right, this ain't nobody's fucking land unless you are native indigenous. Okay, Black folks do not have the authority over this land, neither do the whites. Under the dominion of the universe, anybody that wants to fucking come here should be able to come here, because borders are bullshit. I digress. So, but just to give y'all some perspective here. So again, for these 530,000 migrants that are about to lose their status under this parole program, I mean, in order for them to stay, they must reapply. Okay. What happens if they're not made aware of their status? What happens if there are barriers? What happens? So to me, this Biden Harris policy is as callous as whatever the fuck Trump is talking about. And before we come back to Kamala and the black press, I want you to let us look at what the fuck Trump is talking about this issue. Okay. So go ahead, cue up that Trump clip real quick if you could for me, Will, and let's go ahead and run that.
Migrants from Haiti, these people living there from Haiti, do you consider them here legal or illegal? And would you revoke TPS status?
Which area are you talking about?
Let's say Springfield. You would revoke the temporary protected status?
Absolutely. I'd revoke it and I'd bring them back to their country.
What if they won't receive them they're not?
Well, they're going to receive them. They'll receive them. If I bring them back, they're going to receive them. Okay. Work has nothing to do with Haiti or anything else. It doesn't work. You have to remove the people and you have to bring them back to their own country. They are, in my opinion, it's not legal. It's not legal for anybody to do. It's not even on a human basis.
So while Kamala and Joe Biden might say it slightly more eloquently, they might say it with a little bit more panache, right? I don't see the difference from what Trump is talking about, remove people, and from these policies from the Biden-Harris White House that they basically upheld from the Trump from the Trump administration. I mean, it's very little difference. It's just how it's being said. In the program for the Haitians, I mean, they can stay if they reapply. Well, who knows how many people are going to fall through the cracks as a result of that? And if the Ukrainians can stay and have their eligibility extended, why not the Haitians? Why not the Venezuelans? Why not the Nicaraguans? So anyway, further along during the Black Media tour, let's go to y'all friend Charlamagne. I don't dig Charlamagne. I don't dig Charlamagne for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons I don't dig Charlamagne is because, to me, he's the one allowed to be the voice of a particular generation, and I really hate that it's my generation. I don't dig that because this nigga's a goofball. And he's a cheerleader for the empire, which is wild. I hate black people who are cheerleaders for the empire. Something's the matter with you niggas. Something's wrong. Some things are not well at home. But she was asked about if American. Yes. So I guess during part of Charlemagne's interview with Kamala, towards the end, people were allowed to ask questions. And I think a caller asked a very reasonable and rational question. I would like for you guys to hear Kamala's answer. Go ahead, Will, if you could run that clip, please.
Let's take some, when I call, let's go to the talkback feature. Take some calls. Let's take some, when I call, let's go to the talkback feature.
My question for Kamala is, why are we, and I say we because my tax dollars is sending the money, why are we sending money to other countries when we desperately need it in our own country for homeless, housing, resources, for whatever? That is my determining factor if I vote for Kamala or not.
That's one of the reasons the America First rhetoric resonates, because nobody in America would complain about where money was going if American citizens' everyday needs were being met. So what do you say to that?
We can do it all, and we do. So, first of all, I maintain very strongly America should never pull ourselves away from our responsibility as a world leader. And that is in the best interest of our national security and each one of us as Americans and our standing in the world. That being said, we also
Hold on, the video just stopped. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it back up. 1 second.
Okay. Can I talk while you're doing that?
Sure.
So let me say this. So so what do you say to that America First rhetoric? That America First rhetoric really resonates. First of all, it would for Charlemagne to say the America First rhetoric resonates. I'm assuming he means with the Breakfast Club audience or with black people, or I'm not sure who the fuck he means. First of all, if Trump's America First rhetoric resonates with you, you're a fucking goofball, especially if you are a non-white, especially if you're not a non-wealthy, moneyed white, because that shit is for white folks. Okay. America. Okay. America First is for whites. That's what the fuck Trump means by that shit. So for Charlemagne to even be like, oh, well, that America First rhetoric resonates with who? With whites? With crackers? What black person does that resonate with? And if it does resonate, these niggas is delusional. Second of all, when Kamala, when asked, how can you justify all the money that is spent abroad? I'm assuming, meaning aid to Israel, Ukraine, etc. How can we justify the money that's spent abroad when we don't have money for housing and things that people need in this country? Excellent question asked by the caller. And this is the shit I'm talking about. Kamala says, oh, well, we can and we do. And Charlemagne goes, huh? Pause, my nigga. Fucking pause. The fuck you mean? What Kamala, what the fuck do you mean by that? We can fulfill our international obligations and our domestic obligations. We can and we do. Where's the evidence of that? We have over 500,000 people, 600,000 people, although I believe that's a gross undercount. We have many people in this country that are living unhoused, or that are out here living rough, that are out here couch surfing, that are out here living in their fucking cars. Homeless shelters are overfilled. Tent encampments can range from places like New York City to motherfucking bumblefuck Mississippi. What are you talking about? All of our needs are met. Jackson, Mississippi's water system is fucked up. The cost to fix $2 billion. Oh, we know where that $2 billion went, to Israel, to fucking Ukraine. Flint, Michigan's water problem not fixed. Infrastructure is on fire in this country. There's a chlorine gas poisoning in Metro Atlanta. What the fuck is she talking about? Everybody's needs are met. Are your needs met, chat? Is the rent too damn high? You have to not pay your full utility bill in order to cover the cost of groceries? Oh, how much of your most recent hospital stay was covered? What happens if you have diabetes and you're not a senior? or is your insulin price capped at $35? Just like the audacity of the fucking ludicrous shit that Kamala is allowed to say and without any pushback. And that's the shit I'm talking about. You can't leave these types of questionings, this type of examination of the policies of somebody that is seeking the White House to the likes of somebody that is part of the black bourgeoisie and the black misleadership. Niggas like Charlemagne and Roland Martin are the fuck out of touch. Okay? They can't relate. Y'all niggas rent is too high. Damn, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the question, Kamala, about black home ownership. Whoa. Let's pump brakes. Before we can even talk about buying a house, how the fuck are we going to cover next month's rent? We about to renew the lease. The landlord's about to push the rent up another $300 a month. The fuck you talking about black home ownership? Black people have a housing crisis right fucking now. And not just black people, of course. But while we talking about black people, let's call the thing a fucking thing. And Kamala is not interested. Well, she gives the little lip service. Oh, well, we're going to do something about the cost of housing. What do you intend to do? We need a national rent hike moratorium. This needs to be something that comes from the federal government. We need rent stabilization at the federal level. Kamala says that we are in a housing inventory deficit and we need to build more housing. No, I disagree. I think a lot of them high dollar joints is empty. You lower the rent, the cost of living for folks. Spaces that are currently not going rented will get rented as soon as they become affordable. Amazing how that happens. We don't have a housing shortage. We have an inaccessibility of affordable housing. It's there. The housing exists. It's just too high, and your wages have not kept up. But does Kamala get asked about that? No. Anyway, you want to run the funky ass clip? We got it. All right, so pay attention again. When Kamala says, "Oh, we can and we do. We cover them both. We handle international and domestic business," and Charlemagne goes, "Huh." Go ahead, Will, run that shit.
$1 billion in our HBCUs, IMY, for example, and that is in the best interest of our
Citizens' everyday needs were being met. So what do you say to that?
We can do it all, and we do. So, first of all, I maintain very strongly America should never pull ourselves away from our responsibility as a world leader. And that is in the best interest of our national security and each one of us as Americans and our standing in the world. That being said, we also have an obligation to American citizens, obviously, and people who are here to meet their everyday needs and challenges, which is why, for example, we have done the work in the last 4 years of bringing down the cost of prescription medication, whether it be $35 a month for seniors for insulin or $2,000 a year cap on prescription medication. What we have done that has been about putting $17 billion in our HBCUs. I am proud to be the first HBCU vice president of the United States. I intend to be the first HBCU president of the United States. Those resources are about sending them to centers of academic excellence that I know them to be. The work that I continue to do is about increasing access to capital for our small businesses. It is about increasing the opportunity for home ownership, knowing that black people are 40% less likely to be homeowners in America. We have a history of legal and procedural obstacles to that home ownership, starting with the fact nobody got 40 acres and a mule, to redlining, to issues that this Detroit area and people around the country know to be real. So part of my plan is that we're going to give people a $25,000 down payment assistance to get their foot in the door to buy a home for first-time home buyers. The work that I'm going to do to increase housing supply in America, knowing that that's one of the reasons that rents and housing prices are jacked up. and to work with the private sector, cut through the red tape, and work to build more housing, 3 million before the end of my first term. And I give these examples, and there are many more which I will offer. So, for example, the work that I will do to extend the child tax credit to $6,000 for young families during the first year of their child's life. Because as you and I both know, our families all have a natural desire to parent their children well, but not always the resources.
Mm-hmm.
So by expanding the child tax credit to the first year of a child's life to $6,000, that gives that young family the ability to buy a car seat or a crib or clothes, the things that are so important during that critical phase of that child's development, so that they can get on the road and actually have a chance at succeeding.
You know, you said we can do it all, but can we? Because, you know, Tupac famously said, you know, we got money for war, but can't feed the poor, right? And I saw President Obama say last week that, you know, you really shouldn't expect, you know, a president to rid the world of all of its problems. And so is it fair to tell people, hey, we can do it all? Because that's when people get disappointed, when things don't happen.
But
President Obama was out there last week waving his finger at black men. When are Liz Cheney and Hillary Clinton going to wave their finger at white women? When are Bill Clinton and Joe Biden going to wave their finger at white men? Because 52% of white women voted for Trump in 2016. 55% voted for Trump in 2020. They all voted against their own interests. When the finger waving going to start at them?
Well, thank you for highlighting that. I do have the support of over 200 Republicans who worked for various administrations, including everyone going back to Ronald Reagan, to the Bushes, to John McCain and Mitt Romney, and including Liz Cheney, and I'm very proud to have her support. And I believe that many of them who may have voted for Trump before are supporting me because they know the stakes are so high in terms of our very democracy and rule of law. And
so the finger wagging should start today or tomorrow.
Well, I think what is happening is that we are all working on reminding people of what is at stake, and that is very important.
Hi, my name is Joshua Fisher, age 31 years old, African-American male from Las Vegas, Nevada.
So, yeah. Oh, wait, hold on, because I do want to come back to this because I've actually found this interesting. So a couple things there. I want to go back to what Kamala said about the United States and its responsibilities to maintain its position in the world. She is a representative of the empire. And not only that, she wants to be the figurehead of the empire. I can't call her the actual head of the empire because who the fuck actually knows who runs the empire? Like, I'm sure it's an evil cabal of a bunch of small penised men. That's why the world is the way it is. I digress. Anyway, so like again, I can appreciate him using the Tupac line to, I guess, challenge what she said about the United States maintaining its global hegemony. I guess is basically what she said. You know, with Pac said, we got money for war, can't feed the poor. No, nigga, we can actually quote numbers. You know what I'm saying? $18 billion went to Israel this month. This month from the United States to do what? You say, oh, to commit genocide, right? Knowingly, willingly, clear-eyedly, right? And the response to what that $18 billion, like how could we have better used $18 billion in this country? And for her to also go on, because they said a lot in that clip. Now I should have wrote this shit down. Shout out to people that take notes. I'm not such a person. I rely on my shoddy, terrible memory. So my point is this. I wanted to say that about Kamala. Like, don't expect for her to be on any sort of peace accords or to suggest any sort of like not we'll say domestic isolation per se, but for the United States to draw down where it is, number one, willing to expend itself militarily, be it in Iraq, be it in Africa, be it in Israel, Ukraine. She's never going to go for that. She's going to be balls to the walls, more war, right? She is pro-war machine. She will do and send anything to Ukraine, do and send anything to Israel to support and maintain U.S. interest. Okay. That's gross. Can we just say that shit for the fucking record? First black woman president, first black man president, first black trans president. I don't give a fuck who it is. Anyone that is advocating that and for maintaining the status quo on the amount that the United States the amount of money and the amount of fuckery that the United States does globally is a terrible person. I don't care how cool they silk press is. I don't give a fuck what size they Converse. Like, you're terrible, and there's no way around that. And we have to start calling that out, right? And not to say we, because we do, but I mean, niggas with platforms must start calling that shit out. Fuck your this ain't about national security. If we stop causing fuckery, if we stop bombing funerals and arming those that do cause genocidal fuckery, maybe we wouldn't have to worry so much about national security. Maybe niggas wouldn't try to come blow us up. But guess what? The caller's calling from the inside of the house here in America, everybody. Like, I don't worry. I'm not worried about Iran. I'm a little worried about Russia because saber rattling is going over there that we're not paying attention to. But I'm not worried about China. I'm not worried about none of them niggas. I'm worried about Dylan Roof. Okay. I'm worried about Peyton Genderon. I'm worried about that little bastard who got the AR-15 for Christmas and went and shot up the fucking school. That's who the fuck I'm worried about. Can we talk about it? Can the vice president be asked about it? No? Okay. What were some of the other points that were raised there? In terms of asking when white folks are going to be chastised for their support of Donald Trump, I thought that was a really interesting point that Charlemagne brought up, but I did not think he delivered it or raised it in a way that was effectual, because the fuck Kamala care if Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton go out there and finger wag white women? That's not her concern, because she knows it's not going to happen, right? What he should the angle I would have brought it out is, black folks get blamed when elections don't go the Democrats' way, in a way that white folks are never blamed when Democrats don't win elections. It's never about the white vote not turning out for Hillary Clinton. It's why didn't y'all niggas show up to the polls, right? And that is deeply unfair, considering the amount of challenges and barriers that even in the 21st century black people face in terms of access to the ballot box. But it's not accurate. We're not big enough of the electorate for us to be blamed for Democrats losing when the whites is right there. Go talk to your people. And anyway, so I appreciate the question being asked. I did not think it was asked in an effective way, because Kamala, but she used it as an opportunity. She said, "Oh, well, thank you for allowing me to remind everybody that I have the support of over 200 Klansmen. I mean, Republicans, including the Grand Wizard Dick Cheney and his Klan princess daughter Liz. Thank you, Charlemagne, for giving me an opportunity to remind the people that yes, I am backed by Republicans, some who even served with Ronald Reagan, some that even served with the Bushes." And the fact to me that Kamala is saying this shit with the straightest of faces, with so much pride in her demeanor, and niggas is eating that shit up like, yeah, Republicans are supporting Kamala. You goofy motherfuckers. Anybody that wrote, let me tell you something. Let's say it's me running for president, okay? And motherfuckers want to come support yours truly, Kim Brown, Kim for president, 2024, whatever. If I find out that these niggas used to run with Ronald Reagan, or I find out that these niggas used to serve with W, you can't come over here. You can't come sit with me. You can't. I don't even want. Take my assistant's number. You can't even have my number. I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm not gonna even. I may acknowledge having met you as an acquaintance. We're not friends. I'm not friends with fuck all that. Oh, we need to be friends with people who even don't share our political allegiances. If you rock with anything Ronald Reagan or W. Bush or Bush Sr. had to say, you are officially a fuck boy or fuck girl. Why would I want such people near me or on my team? Do you guys see the ridiculousness in this whole Kamala charade? This whole farcical campaign? Like, really trying to convince us that up is down and down is up. Trying to tell me that it's raining when you were in fact pissing upon me and making me think that her being endorsed and supported by these Republicans is somehow a good thing. If anything, it is more representative of the kind of fascist shit that she would take the country further deeper into. Insanity. Anyway, go ahead and finish with this. I didn't realize this was this long. I didn't realize that they asked this many goddamn questions, but fine. Yes, I'd rather hear from the people any fucking way. So yeah, go ahead and run that, Will. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Madam Vice President what laws does she have planned to make sure that there's a stop to police brutality and murders that have been going on viciously?
Excellent question. Hold on. Pause that real quick, Will.
So again,
back that up to start that question again, because I just remembered something, of course, because I'm a stoner and I just remembered. Back to Kamala. I wanted to say this really quick because back to Kamala's plans for Black folks in terms of, she said the money that she was giving to HBCUs, the amount of money that she was going to give first-time Black home buyers towards a down payment of a house, $25,000. There was a third thing she said. Everything that she said, though, to give capital to small businesses, to help people create small businesses. Put me back up, Will. Do you realize that everything that she said, all of her policies that she proposed that's going to help Black people involve some sort of debt? You want to give more funding to HBCUs to create more access for Black students to go to college. That's all well and good. But Black people are disproportionately held down and held back by college debt, by college loans. So that's cool if you want to send more Black people to college, but understand that you are putting them in immediate debt upon graduation if they graduate, right? There are plenty of people who attended college who do not have a degree and yet still have college loans, okay? Even the incremental efforts of the Biden administration to erase some college debt has not done so for the majority of folks. Okay, it's cool if it's done it for some. I have no idea if new students incurring this college debt post this student loan debt forgiveness. I don't know if any of that student loan debt forgiveness is going to apply to students enrolled in college right fucking now and onward. Right, there's that. The other thing she said about giving access to capital for creation of small business. Again, most of these loans are either 0% or they're low interest rate, and most of them do have to be repaid, right? So when you talk about capital, I'm a little confused as to what those terms are. Like, is it a loan or is it a grant, right? Now, if it's a grant, then that's one thing. But them crackers ain't going for that. They're here for the loans, right? Which again is the new business owner incurring debt, right? And what was the last thing? God damn it, I forgot that fucking fast. It was the HBCUs. It was the in the houses. $25,000 towards a down payment. It sounds adorable. it sounds adorable. You know how adorable, like that would have been so adorable in 2015. In 2024, beloveds, I don't know what the medium home price is in your region or area. Let me tell you, I live in the Washington, D.C. suburbs. Let me also tell you that I could not afford to buy my place that I live in now. Okay. Today, I got my shit a decade plus ago. You think I can afford to buy my current shit again? That's a negatory. The average home price in DC is hovering right around $1 million or $500,000, regardless. $1 million or $500,000 or $1 million is still too much fucking money. And that little 25,000 is not going very far. If at all. I don't even know how it's a pittance, and it's out of touch, and it's too late, not enough. And it doesn't do anything to address the immediate rental crisis and eviction crisis that we're facing right now. I didn't hear anything from Kamala addressing that. So I wanted to say that really quick, although I'm sure I didn't say it quick. But everything that she's talking about, it involves you getting deeper into the capitalist debt wage slave system. I don't hear how any of these programs, getting kids to college, getting small business access to capital, and getting home buyers help with their down payment, how does that get you ahead? How are you coming out on top of any of this? Coming out of school, or your child's coming out of school with a degree in debt, trying to create a small business, which, by the way, let's keep it a fucking buck. Most small business creation is basically your side hustle. If that, you LLC in your side hustle. So you are your part-time job, right? Like instead of going to Target to sign up for the weekend shifts at fucking Target, now you are your part-time job, right? In your business, your small business, okay, with a loan that you got to pay back to the government, okay? And then the house, which is not only going to be a mortgage every month, your house is a new bill, beloveds. Nigga, I just had to pay the niggas. Well, they not niggas. Well, whatever, niggas. All the niggas, fuck them. I just had to pay the niggas to trim the fucking tree. To trim the tree. Okay. Got to trim. I had to pay niggas to trim the tree. I don't sleep under the tree. I don't, the tree wasn't bothering me at all, but the tree needed trimmings. Okay. I had to address that. $250 out of my fucking pocket. For what? And not a package came to my house. Not a nail got done. Not nothing fun happened with that $250. You understand? So great. You get people in the house. It's fantastic. Yes, it is the quickest way in America, or I guess not the quickest, the most proven effective way to build wealth in this rotten fucking ass country. And it is a bill every goddamn month, and it's beyond your mortgage. Okay. What the fuck is Kamala talking about? All right. So the brother on the shit with Charlemagne asked the question about policing. He asking the police about police. so let's go ahead and get that answer and that response, please and thank you.
Years old, African-American male from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'd like to ask Madam Vice President what laws does she have planned to make sure that there's a stop to police brutality and murders that have been going on viciously?
So again, the work that I have done through my career, and then most recently even when I was in the United States Senate to help write the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act.
Which did not pass.
Cory Booker and I work very closely on that.
Could you tell people why that didn't pass too? Give folks a quick civics lesson.
We couldn't get the votes in Congress.
The frustration comes from people who will say sometimes politicians volunteer lies because, yes, it's great to try to pass the George Floyd Policing Act, but you probably know you can't get the votes. So why push that? Why push that on people knowing you can't get the votes?
I don't subscribe to that approach.
My question to you is, what's your stance on reparations? Black Americans are heavily asked to vote Democrat in every election for over half a century.
All right, that's enough. Yep. Kamala and Cory Booker, both AIPAC Democrats, worked really hard on the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. They worked so hard on it, it didn't get passed. And the latest version, I don't want to say latest, but the most recent version that I can recall checking into, obviously this is since Kamala has left the Senate, but it was Cory Booker. Was it Tim Scott? Was it two Sambos of a different of different party affiliations? Was it two Sambos of two different party affiliations? Was these niggas working on that shit? Anyway, the shit was so watered down because both of them agreed to get rid of qualified immunity. No, I'm sorry. They refused to get rid of qualified immunity in the Justice and Policing Act, or the whatever version they were working on in the Senate. Of course, like if police could get sued directly as individuals for murder and brutality, it would change the culture of policing immediately. Way quicker than so-called more training. Oh, the cops, I just heard there was a brutality case, one of many, I'm sure. But, we're going to get the cops more training to make sure this doesn't happen again. Bitch, it's happening because of the fucking training. Obviously, brutalization and murder are the goddamn training. They don't need more, for fuck's sake. They've had quite a bit of the brutality and the murder of innocent and unarmed or even legally armed people. Right? That is the fucking training. Please miss me with all this more training. And please, can journalists generally, can y'all push back on these fuckers, on these chiefs of police, on these police spokespeople, on these elected officials when they say that bullshit? Well, they need more training. Well, was this response, was this behavior not the training? Is this not how they were trained? Well, sure, it is the training, but they need different training. Well, why ain't y'all giving them this to begin with? why is the training to be a good cop something you get after you are proven to be a bad cop? What? Get me out of here. Do not like it. I'm disappointed, though unsurprised generally with the way that media in general are handling Kamala and the Black press, or those that are tasked with being the voice of large swaths of Black folks in this country. These people are not super well apprised of the issues, okay? And I don't even mean being at like Black liberation media levels of apprised of the issue, right? Because niggas on BLM is special. Okay, like our comrades and folks over there, like they are apprised of the issues on steroidian levels, which is great because we need niggas like that. We need niggas that are deeply invested in the minutia and in the details of these policies and how they affect Black people here domestically and how they affect Black people around the globe. We need niggas like that, okay? But we also need niggas that can distill that shit down so that it's palatable to lay people, okay? Because a lot of people, though, even those I believe have an above average interest in politics or even current events and news, eyes will glass over. Niggas will tune out if they don't understand or not able to exactly follow what you're talking about. And that's where I hope to fill that gap a little bit. I don't have any expectation to be able to spit the done language the way my comrades over at Black Liberation Media spit it. But the end of the day is I agree. what dumb nigga said, I fully agree. I agree with that shit. Now let me say it to you plain. You feel me? And people like Charlemagne, people like Roland Martin have a very unique opportunity to convey some of these even more global issues, or even very specific regionalized issues, like not to push for Charlemagne, for example, not to push back on Kamala when she says that we can handle all of our international and domestic responsibilities. That's demonstrably false. And it's false in a way that impacts Black people very specifically. And to point that out to the vice president's face, to the Democratic presidential nominee's face, is important to do. And when you don't do, you abdicate your responsibility as a voice of the people. That's why I don't have respect for these niggas. You understand? I don't respect them. Because ultimately you're here to be some shill, even if it's not overtly for a specific political party. It's for the maintenance and the upholding of the system as is. They want to see incrementalism advancement of Black people like them, of a certain echelon, of a certain class. I want to see the mass improvement of the conditions of Black people across the board. Well, not the bougies. The bougies is doing all right, as they remind us. They're not even worried about the rent being too goddamn high. That's poor niggas' problems. Okay? But we just need to be aware and able to call out when we see the misleadership, the misdirection, the omission of even asking certain questions, the way certain questions are framed, the way certain answers are allowed to just lay there, given by the powerful person or the person in the position of power, and not be followed up on. It's irresponsible as a journalist. And I know some of y'all might be like, well, Kim, you're not the most responsible journalist. Nigga, I opine, okay? Let's be clear here. I opine on journalism sometimes. But ultimately, what you guys ought to know, if you don't know by now, and what you should know if you don't know, is that I am not here for my own interest, to be perfectly honest. I'm here to call out motherfuckers in power who use a position to either hold us back or just outright shit on us. And some of those people look like us. Some of those people identify with us. Some of those people come and sit in church with your grandmama. I'm not here for it. If I don't do nothing else, let me call out them fuck boys and fuck girls. Let me call out them fucking bitch ass niggas and bitch ass niggerettes. Okay? That's what I do. So there's that. That's it. Smack all y'all niggas, niggerettes, universal death threats. Check out the rap kingpin, the Black Jesus. I knew if you niggas sniff coke, it caused seizures. This is for all my bitches in the bleachers. Summertime sex on the beaches. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Anyway. Well, how many people in here tonight? What kind of crowd we got in here with us tonight? Chat. Chat-a-rat-tat-tat-tat.
We got 130 people live in the chat.
Are they all the way live, or they
you know, you get a different type of troll, you know.
Ooh, we got trolls. Ooh, we have Kamala trolls.
Yeah, we got our I think we got our first Kamala 2024. It's usually Trump. It's usually Trump 2024, you know. So shout out to you. All right, you doing things. Okay. You out here, you got versatile trolls.
Nigga, listen, we winning, Will. If we get in Kamala 2024 and Trump 2024s, oh, nigga, we pissing everybody off. What great work, Kim. You tap myself on the back. That's good work, Kim.
Yeah. So, again,
Woody Johnson, talk to him, Woody. I'm sorry, go ahead, Will.
No, I was just saying, yeah, that was it. Thank you. No super chats right now. Please like and subscribe.
Thank you.
That's it.
All that. Thank you guys. Hey, listen, if you want to run some support, we take the free stuff, of course. Thank you. Give us some thumbs up on the video. Get us over 150 likes. Let me shoot for the stars out here. 150 likes. And subscribe to the channel, set your notifications, etc., etc. And a cashmere sweater. But if you want to run us some material support, you can do so. Cash App, $BIDWKB. We are at Venmo at BIDWKB. Patreon.com/BIDWKB. We will even take your PayPal. Thank you so much. PayPal.me/BIDWKB. You guys are great. You don't even, nigga, I got Kamala trolls, nigga. Let me sit up. let me give these people the attention that they do not deserve. But I'm so glad to see y'all in here because your girl is trash. I hate to tell you. If nobody told you, let me tell you, okay? And Trump is your man's also trash. All y'all niggas is trash. I mean, what's that feel like? Because y'all think y'all only have two choices, and that's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? If you have the opportunity to vote third party, I suggest that you do so. If for your conscience, for your soul, even, beloved, for God's sakes, you were voting for genocide. If you cast the ballot for D or R. Shout out to John Kemper coming through with the super chat. Thank you so much. I don't know why I'm talking like this. My bad. Thank you, John Kemper. I appreciate your super chat. I keep forgetting we are not demonetized over here. So yes, y'all can run the bucks. Please and thank you. We appreciate it. Schultzy. Oh my gosh, Schultzy, please. It's Fire Fam. Send Schultzy all the love and all the healing vibes. Schultzy, I hope you get better soon. Thank you for even tuning in, Schultzy. Thank you for that. Schultzy is one of our day oneers. Schultzy been with us for a long time. So thanks, Schultzy. Checking in from the West Coast. I hope you get better soon, babe. Thank you, Bally girls. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Let me get on to my next story here because
hold on. You want to thank John Kemper too and Stren for their super chats.
Someone just ran money. Who is this? Is this Alicia? Is this one of my nieces? It is Alicia. Thank you so much for your Cash App support, baby. Thank you. Thank you. All my nieces and my nephew is in here. Thank you so much, babe. I appreciate it. Now how do I get back to my doc? There we go. Okay, so let me give some content warnings and some trigger warnings for this next story. it pertains to the Diddy allegations in some ways, and it does not, because it's an aspect of what is been alleged in some of these civil lawsuits against Sean Combs, and why it is more of a broader issue in society than we care to really talk about. And I'm talking about the sexual assault of men and boys. Do me a favor, everybody. Engage with us in the ways that you can. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. So, listen, if you're not keeping up with the Diddy saga, I don't blame you. And really, you should not feel obligated to keep up with it in any way, because guess what? We are going to be hearing about Diddy dirtbag stories literally for the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives. This man has done so much fuckery to so many people. I think people are going to be telling their stories about being traumatized by him for decades to come. Okay. But in the immediacy of him being charged and now awaiting trial in federal detention, his trial is slated to begin in May. The civil suits continue to come out against Sean Combs. This week alone, there were 7 filed. I can't even get into the most recent one because that shit is fucking bonkers. Like that is a bonkers fucking story. I can't even touch it right now. But the previous 6 that were filed this week were filed by 4 men and 2 women. One of the men say that they were 16 when this alleged assault occurred. And I want us to get it. I think this is going to be CBS News. So CBS, let's get the package just so we have a quick primer on this latest round of Diddy lawsuits. But pay close attention to the details of the accusers. Go ahead, Will.
Lawsuits that are filed against Sean Diddy Combs. For the first time, the 54-year-old music mogul is being sued by a person alleging he was abused by Combs as a minor.
It's a growing legal battle for Sean Diddy Combs, who now faces 6 new civil suits alleging sexual assault, rape, and sexual abuse. The suits were filed anonymously by 4 men and 2 women in a Manhattan court Monday. The accusations include incidents ranging from 1995 to 2021, taking place at locations like a department store stockroom, hotel, and an event space bathroom. Some involve Combs and his, quote, agents and employees using this container to insert drugs into alcoholic drinks at parties. One complaint describes an alleged incident between a then 16-year-old and the music mogul at one of his infamous white parties in the Hamptons back in 1998. The suit claims shortly after the 2 met, Combs abruptly told him to drop his pants as a way to prove himself, then molested him, allegedly asking, "Don't you want to break into the business?" In response to these latest allegations, Combs' legal team says the barrage of filings were clear attempts to garner publicity, adding, "In court, the truth will prevail. Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted anyone, adult or minor, man or woman." Following his arrest in September and arraignment for a sex trafficking and racketeering case, Combs remains behind bars at a Brooklyn detention center.
So this is the first time that one of the civils, now actually not the first time. I was going to say this is the first time that one of these civil suits has involved a teenager. That is not accurate. A woman who says that she was 17 when she was flown from Detroit, Michigan to New York City, and says that she was assaulted by not only Diddy, but some of his executives in his Manhattan recording studio. She was a teen making that allegation. Well, making the allegation when she says she was a teenager when it happened. But this is the first teen boy to make this allegation. And, you know, the interwebs, the TikToks, the everywhere has been flying about the presence of minors at some of these Diddy freak offs, you know, who was doing what with the minors, all of that, right? But that has somewhat remained on the web. This is the second case of someone who says that they were a minor when they were allegedly assaulted by Diddy, and this is the first boy. Really quick, so about some of these other allegations involving men. One of these lawsuits involves a man who was a security guard at a Diddy party and claims that Diddy that he believes that Diddy had given him a spiked drink, kept checking back, with him throughout the night. Hey, you drinking? You enjoying your drink? You enjoying yourself? Da 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 da. And allegedly got him secluded in a van at the party or outside of the party, and was able to restrain him in some way, or he was so inebriated he was unable to fight back and he was assaulted there. Another claim from a man in these civil suits say that this particular victim worked for Mark Echo or the Echo clothing line. You guys remember Echo shorts? Echo, y'all of a certain age remember Echo clothes. ECKO, I think, right? Anyway, Echo and Sean John clothing lines were in direct competition. This man alleges that Diddy assaulted him inside of a Macy's stock room. Again, like some of the details, you have to understand. Like truth is stranger than fiction, right? And sometimes you'll hear the shit and be like, God damn, did this nigga really do that there at this point in time? That sounds crazy. Like nobody would really go do. Yeah. Yes. Sometimes the more outlandish and improbable the shit sounds, sometimes the more true that shit is. Because people like Diddy who are drunk off power know no bounds, right? Nothing is off limits to them. And they have people, security, staff covering for them, making sure that they are protected and hidden and able to fill all of their diabolical desires. But I saw a clip. Will cue up the TikTok for me. It's the dudes laughing. And it bothered me. And I won't say that this is a pervasive reaction to the news that Diddy was allegedly assaulting men and boys at these freak offs. But it bothered me when I saw this clip and I saw related. Again, this is just some random niggas on TikTok, whatever. But it represents a slice of the population. How big or small of a slice of the population, that can be debated and argued. But this is not an uncommon sentiment, I would say, amongst the mandem, especially barbaric, terrible mandem, of which their numbers are unknown, but they are mighty. So anyway, go ahead and run that clip for me, Will. It's the TikTok with the niggas laughing and shit.
Feel real bad for the women. And I feel hell of a bad. I know that ain't funny. That is not funny on the men. Because they didn't know that they was going to drink something and wake up. And somebody said some stupid shit. They said they didn't know they was going to drink something and wake up and be gay. I was like, oh.
That's what Little Rob accused him of, right? Or that he woke up one night.
Yeah, he woke up and he was in the bed naked with him. And two other men.
Yeah.
That's brother love.
It's so disappointing to see really people of any age, right? But I recognize my generation, right? And I know I've told y'all this before, not all Gen X, not even close, but the amount of Gen X men that are actually barbarians, niggas need to form a union, okay? Because it's a good amount of them, okay? And to see that reaction, and again, that's not a reaction or a sentiment shared by all men when made aware that other men have been victims of sexual assault, but that is not an uncommon reaction. And let me say this very clearly. No person who survives a sex assault, if you were male, it doesn't change your sexual orientation or who it is that you like sexually. If you liked women and you were assaulted by a man, it does not turn you gay. And the inference that it does is part of the reason why male survivors stay silent. This is why male sex assault is grossly underreported. It's estimated that 1 in 4 women will experience sex assault. It's estimated that 1 in 6 men will, or men or boys, will experience a sexual assault. Those numbers go up for men that are incarcerated. Those numbers go up for men that are in the military, and basically any structure in which is all men's. A man or a boy is going to be assaulted. Okay, if it's only in the all the company, oh, you can count on it. Okay, and people don't like to talk about that. People don't like to talk about the amount of sex assault amongst men that happens sometimes in, let's say, fraternities, right? Like as methods of hazing, or in certain sports organizations, or other type of fraternal organizations. Like, men use sexual violence against one another to engender some sort of loyalty, or to emasculate, or to blackmail or extort in some way. Like, this shit is real, and this shit is not funny, and it's not cute. Okay. The insinuation that a man can be turned gay because he is assaulted, and to be clear, there's nothing wrong with gay also. Let me be clear. Gay men also can be assaulted by so-called straight men, right? It all happens across the spectrum, but we know who is doing the primary assaulting of both men and women. It's men. Okay, and we need these men to cut that shit out. But part of the way that we have to get them to cut it out is to at least have them have some sympathy and some empathy towards each other. And when I see the jokey jokes, ha ha, oh yo, it's funny. Them niggas didn't know they was gonna drink something and wake up gay. Like, that's like the most cold-hearted, tone-deaf shit that you could say, do, or whatever. And let us be clear here. Like, it's not just the rich and the powerful. It's not just the Diddies. It can be average, ordinary people in the community. And that's what I want us to be on the lookout for, period. The same way that you are hyper vigilant about where your daughters go to, whose parents or whose kids' house that they're allowed to have sleepovers, who's allowed to pick them up from different recreational activities, like who has access to your child not under your supervision. The same way you are vigilant with your daughters, you better be as vigilant with your sons. No one wants to think it like that, but it's the facts. There are child predators who unfortunately prey on more than just little girls. They go after little boys because they know that little boys can be intimidated or conditioned to think that, well, this is well, do you want your daddy to think that you're gay? Well, then you better not tell him that I did this, because he's going to say that you're gay and you're going to get in trouble, and he's not going to love you anymore because he's going to think that you're gay. Like, that shit works. Okay. But I wanted to bring you guys a story quickly coming from out of Houston, because it's such an unusual story. Not unusual in what happened, and I guess the frequency of which such things do happen. I found it unusual because the survivor, I hate to use the word victim, but because the survivor of this assault came forward right away and not only reported it to police, which, we can argue is debatable as to how useful the police are in handling such things, but whatever, it's what we're told to do. And this kid went and did that. Well, not kid, 20-year-old, but a kid in my eyes. And the kid is being public about what happened, which I think is so powerful, because most men and boys don't ever. They would be horrified to have their name and photo associated with having experienced such an act. But it's not a rare occurrence. It happens. And I'm glad that this young man took ownership over what happened to him and is not allowing himself to be shamed by it or be emasculated by it. He didn't do anything wrong. he was preyed upon, and it's okay to say that you were preyed upon. So anyway, Will, let's go ahead and run the story. This is coming out of Houston, Texas, and involves someone who is a principal, or rather an assistant principal at the Houston, integrated school district. So let's take a look at this package.
I didn't want it to happen to anyone else.
Right now at 6 o'clock, only on 2, we're hearing from a 20-year-old who says he was sexually assaulted by the assistant principal of the school he once attended. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Daniela Guzman.
And I'm Keith Garvin. Brian Tigner is charged with sexual assault following the crime on September 27th. Police arrested him on Friday. KPRC2 reporter Corley Peel joins us live outside Westbury High School. She spoke with the man who reported the crime. Corley.
Keith and Daniela, the 20-year-old man tells me he is traumatized. He says he first met Brian Tigner while he was a student at this school 2 years ago. He says that Tigner reached out to him on Instagram after he graduated and they became friends. He says he would often go over to his apartment and they would drink alcohol and smoke weed. He says he never felt that his safety was in danger until now. Why is it so important for you to speak up?
I didn't want it to happen to anyone else. I know that he works with a lot of other kids, young men. This can happen to anyone.
We sat down with 20-year-old Malachi Knight Boyle as he talked about the last time he hung out with Westbury High School assistant principal Brian Tigner.
I was just chilling on the couch. We played the game. We were drinking, smoking, the usual, like how we usually would do. Like when I woke up, that's when everything happened.
Knight Boyle says he woke up to Tigner performing an unwanted sex act on him.
I just started fighting. I just started fighting them off.
Has he ever made a pass at you like that before?
No, nothing that I noticed, no.
He says Tigner tried to stop him from leaving.
Please, bro, let's talk about it. I'll send you $50. I'm like, bro, what you mean you gonna send me $50? Well, I'm gonna do it, you know? He tried to offer me money.
Knight Boyle got away and called police. He was examined at the hospital where doctors noticed his bruised hand. When detectives spoke with Tigner, records show they noticed he had a black eye. He first told police he got it from breaking up a school fight, but detectives figured out that was not true. It was from Knight Boyle fighting him off. Tigner is out on bond, so I gave him a call.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
But he didn't pick up.
I feel like he needs to be held accountable. I'm glad that he's being charged.
You know, other people are going to be watching this. What would you encourage they do if they're in a situation like you've been in?
It's always going to be someone you can talk to. If something happens to you, you don't got to go through it alone.
Several students tell us that Brian Tigner is someone that they often look up to as a role model, and they are shocked by his recent charge. HISD did send us a statement today saying that they are aware of this incident. They say it is protocol for any time an employee is charged with a crime for them to be removed from campus while that investigation is ongoing. At this time, HPD says they're not aware of any other victims, but they're encouraging anyone who might have information to contact their Special Victims Division, and we have that information at clicktohouston.com. Reporting live, Corley Peel, KPRC.
Story just broke this week, and I promise you, I guarantee it, I'm willing to throw money down on it. There are going to be more victims coming forward because that is how these predators operate. They run the odds, they play the numbers, right? They will come at more than one person, multiple people, and figure someone is going to be prey, right? They're going to make attempts on however many and be successful at a couple or whatever they figure their odds to be. A little bit more information about that story. So again, the young man there in the package, Malachi Knight Boyle, a champion, a hero out here, an inspirational figure. In a separate interview that he gave to ABC 13 Houston, I believe, in the piece, Malachi told reporters that one of his friends claimed that this assistant principal, Brian Tigner, tried similar behavior with him. And he didn't get specific, but what he said was that Mr. Tigner was being weird towards him in a similar sort of, I guess, scenario. And please, parents especially, or if you have young people in your life, all the advice that you give to young women about how to remain safe whilst out in the world, how to protect yourself from strangers bothering you, fucking with you, attempting to do you harm. Again, you have to give this advice to your sons also, but in the same vein of them potentially being harmed sexually, right? That's most of the advice for young girls, right? Or girls and women, how not to get raped or what steps you can do to make yourself less rapeable. I don't fucking know. There's no such thing exists, by the way. The concept, tote that thing or be ready to slice and dice. My advice. Anyway, but my point is that young man in this package was being groomed, period. Even though the young man says that the assistant principal never tried anything with him while he was underage as a student, all of that underage drinking stuff, because the kid was 20 here, oh, come on over to the house. We can play the game. Yeah, I got some beers. I got some drink. I got some smoke. We can hang out. I don't know how old Mr. Tigner was or the age of Mr. Tigner. I don't think they said it in the package. But just generally, like if somebody is more than 15 years older than you and they want you to come over to their house and get inebriated, that's a red flag on the play, kids. The 10 yards, the unintentional grounding, like you got to run that back to repeat the third down. Like you got to run that back. Like nope. You have to teach your sons as well to be aware of what the signs of grooming are. If there's a big age discrepancy with someone and they want you to come over and get fucked up with them, be wary of that. Don't go do that because that person has their own house and they got free fuck up goodies for you. Don't go sprint on over to that situation because there might be some other things in additionally behind that. But also, the young man said that the assistant principal here, the accused, Mr. Tigner, by the way, out on $75,000 bond. The judge who obviously heard this or heard him in arraignment, sheesh, they took that seriously. I'm glad to hear that. But the motherfucker is out, by the way, out on bond and on leave from his position at HISD. But Mr. Tigner, he was labeled as a role model, somebody that young men who did not have present or available father figures in their life, someone that they could look up to. And single parents, single mothers especially, please. I know your son needs somebody, right? His father may not be around for whatever reason, okay? He may not have no uncles. You may not have no brothers. Your father may not be around, right? Like there may not be a slate of available male familial role models available for your son. But that does not mean that coach so-and-so is a trustworthy figure simply because he's a coach. It does not mean that pastor so-and-so is a safe person for your son to be around unsupervised simply because they are a pastor and they don't come off as a creep. It doesn't mean that principal so-and-so is a safe person for your child, your son, to be around with unsupervised because they're a principal. These predators hide in plain sight. We still have the Roman Catholic Church, the diocese in America, paying tens of millions of dollars for the abuse done over periods of generations and decades, done by male priests, oftentimes because they were viewed as safe and reliable figures in the community. Why would Father Peter, why would he harm my kid? My son's an altar boy. He's fine with Father Peter. No, he isn't. The Boy Scouts of America, same thing. Like think of all these male dominated organizations in which boys have been harmed, girls too in some cases. I'm thinking of the Police Explorers Club, that terrible case that we've been following out of Massachusetts where the young woman was unalived by the cop who got her pregnant, who started grooming her as a teen. These predators are everywhere. They are on television, like the likes of Diddy, and they are in your schools, like the alleged assistant principal, Mr. Tigner, who is accused of assaulting one of his former students. And for boys, it is more difficult to come out and acknowledge these things because number one, of rampant homophobia in the society at large, but in the Black community in particular, right? I say homophobia is killing a lot of our folks. It's killing a lot of our LGBTQ fam. It's killing young LGBTQ people either overtly, um, by murdering them, or subversively by them unaliving themselves, or in different ways when they are ostracized from their households because they're gay, forced to be homeless and put in precarious situations, unstable situations. Uh, I, I I want us to try to find more ways to help our brothers to come out and acknowledge when these things happen to them. And it doesn't always mean make a public display or spectacle of it. You come out with it and acknowledge it in the ways that you're comfortable. But to be able to out your abuser, to out your predator, I think is invaluable because of the way that we know that these predators operate. Again, it's never one and done. It's however many they can get away with. And if they can get away with 5, if they can get away with 50, if they can get away with 100, then they will. And if survivors don't say anything, or if nothing is done, I'm not even always, you guys know this, I don't think everything needs to go through the justice system, okay? I support street vengeance, to be perfectly honest. I'm not going to even front about that. Because I think if a molester, if an abuser gets fucked up real good, and they are made aware as to why they're getting fucked up, and they are given the ominous warning, don't let us hear about you out here harming somebody else, because the next time they not going to catch up with you. The next time they might be trying to assemble you if you pick up what I'm putting down. Like I think street vengeance is a perfectly logical, rational response. I don't think everything needs to go through the justice system. So even if you do that, beloveds, even if you are a male survivor and you decide to, address your abuser out extrajudiciously, do that. Don't let that person just be out here roaming free, available to hurt others. Take care of them. Get your folks and take care of them. If you don't have confidence in the justice system, which I understand, this young man in Houston does have confidence in the justice system. I mean, I'm proud of him for doing that. But if you don't, I don't fault you, baby. I'm about to wrap this up here because I have another story I want to get to before I leave. And it's getting late. So let me go ahead and get to the story. Are you guys still in here? Are you watching? Let me make this next story an attempt at a palate cleanser, though initially it's not going to present as such. The palate cleansing, you got to wait for it. You got to wait for it. It's coming. It's coming. But initially, the story is not going to present as a palate cleanser. The viral video of the Black Florida teenager walking around his Sarasota neighborhood being followed and harassed, dare I say, stalked by a contingent of white men, is yielding a bit of digital vengeance. Let's say that. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown. Thank you guys so much for watching Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, chat, etc. So have you guys seen this video? We'll go ahead and get that queued up for me. And let me give you a preface and let's tell you what you're about to see here. Because in the immediate aftermath of Hurricane Milton, which was a category 3, 4, 5 hurricane, came through Central Florida, I believe the eye struck either near or at Sarasota. Um, Millions of people lost power for an extended amount of time. And that was the case with this teenager we're about to see, whom was walking around his neighborhood broad daylight. Why was the kid walking around his neighborhood? Well, they didn't have power in his house. He was on his phone attempting to walk around the neighborhood in order to latch on to a better cell signal. His mother ended up posting this video we're about to see online. And like I said, it went viral, but that's the backstory. So this kid is 18. He lives in the neighborhood, which he is walking around. Why is he walking around the neighborhood? He's trying to find a better cell signal, doesn't have no power in the house. And that's where we're going to pick it up. The kid is filming himself, and then you're going to see those that are accosting him. But now that you know the backstory, now that you know that this young man is not casing anyone's fucking house, there are some names I want you to keep in mind as you're watching this also. Ahmaud Arbery, Emmett Till, Trayvon Martin, just to name a couple. So let's take a look at the video. Check it out.
What's going on, buddy?
Nigga that brought a team out here.
Obviously, he doesn't live here.
The reason why I asked you to live here is for private community, so if you don't live here, you need to leave. So if you live here, you're visiting a friend, that's fine, just let us know, because you're getting neighbors concerned since you're walking around my house. I'm not walking around your house. Hold on, Steve. You've been past my house 4 times, I don't know you, I've never seen you here before, and you're walking past my house over and over again. So if you live here or you have a friend you're visiting here, that's fine. I'm not in front of your house. You're actually following me.
You went up the wrong way. We're just asking a question. You live out here?
I'm a part of the neighborhood.
You're part of the neighborhood? Well, does that mean you live here? It's simple.
Like, bro, what?
I'm asking a question. You live here? You went up to my wife.
But I didn't go up to your wife, bro. I don't know who you talking about. For real. And I think I can walk around my neighborhood.
If you live here, yeah. So you live here.
Like,
You live here?
you gonna keep asking me the same question over and over and over and over and over. This man following me. This is harassment, right?
You haven't answered yet.
That's harassment, right? That's harassment, right?
I think what you did to my wife, yes.
Look. He followed.
What you did to my wife,
You
yes.
read it up.
Hey, buddy, what you doing around here? Woo is the most unfriendly greeting that you ever want to hear, dog. There won't nothing friendly about that. Hey, buddy. Okay. And the reason I said keep Ahmaud Arbery for obvious reasons. Ahmaud Arbery, obviously the young black man who was jogging when he was accosted by 3 armed white men and subsequently murdered. His murderers are in jail right now. But I said to keep Ahmaud Arbery in mind for obvious reasons. And the reason I said Emmett Till was because of the comment from the one cracker about, you spoke to my wife. Jesus, is Carolyn Bryant speaking from the fucking grave. But now white women's being used again, or allowing themselves to be used as the motivation for accosting black men on the street randomly, right? And then, of course, Trayvon Martin, very obviously walking around his Florida neighborhood, minding his business, not doing a fucking thing, when he was accosted by a nigga that think he a cracker, fucking George Zimmerman, and murdered, right? Death ended up for black men in each of those scenarios. And whether or not this young man was aware of just the weight of sort of the dynamic of the situation that those crackers put him in. I can't even say that he found himself in, because that implies that somehow the child is in the wrong. Somehow the 18-year-old did something he wasn't supposed to do. And there was nothing this young man did incorrect. You can hear him walking in his flip-flops, right? He's in his slides. I'm sorry. You think he's casing the fucking house? He casing your house? Motherfucking Roger. You think he looking at your shit, Roger? Why? What makes you think that? Because he keep walking past your house? Well, he don't have no power. He's looking for a good cell signal. And guess what? He can walk on the sidewalk or walk in the street as he clearly was as much as he fucking wants to. I'm certain Sarasota is a sundown town. Clearly, you see the sun was up. Them crackers was clocking in for work too fucking early. Okay, no, the sundown town brigade don't clock in till 6:30. Fucking Jeff. y'all early for y'all sundown town patrol work, nigga. So anyway, in the United States in the 21st century, yes, but you can't even say young, Black people are being harassed, accosted by aggressive, hostile whites. As you see in the video, I hope you were able to see it. One of the whites went to the car to go get the pistol, or what appeared to be a pistol. We went to go to his car to retrieve something so he could continue to question this young man about his whereabouts. Does he belong to be there? And all of this is holdover energy. I can't even call it holdover because the energy never went away. But in this country, under the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, and I'm sure other local related laws, but it was perfectly legal for any white person to accost, inquire about the status, free or enslaved, of literally any Black person they saw in the street. The audacity. I mean, white folks from Vermont to fucking Florida could ask Black people, random niggas on the street. I hate to say niggas in this context, but you know, random Black folks on the street. Hey, papers, please. Papers, please. These white folks did not have to be deputies. They did not have to be police. They just had to be white. And let me tell you how the whites have held on to this privilege. They don't ever want to let that shit go. The ability to question any Negro at any time for any reason about what they doing and do they belong? Oh my God. The whites' grandparents used to regale them with tales of impeding the everyday movements of random Black people. Why? Because they felt like it. And why else? Because they fucking could. And so wait, let me give you an update, because there's been an update on this story already. So apparently the Sarasota police put on their website, their Facebook page, that they have opened an investigation pertaining to this incident, that detectives have been assigned to investigate. Okay. We'll see how that goes. we will see how that goes. But because we know it's not really actionable or even, frowned upon for white folks to do this, at least through the eyes of most other white folks, not our radical whites that we have here, that I'm sure are quite angry looking at these other, no, y'all not crackers, but looking at these crackers in this video, the way they were talking to this young man. I know my radical whites is not pleased about that shit. Well, the internet is undefeated. Now, even though Black folks have never been able to repay in blood and violence back to the whites what the whites have taken from us, we've never been able to do that in any meaningful way. Shout out to Nat Turner. He tried. Nat gave it a whirl. You know what I mean? But we gonna try again. We gonna try again. It's fine. But what we have been able to do, we've been able to get some crackers in trouble. And this is a new phenomenon, because in the days of Emmett Till, them crackers ain't getting no fucking trouble for brutalizing, harassing, or even murdering Black people. They got the inconvenience of a murder trial, which the outcome was already predetermined. Them crackers ain't never getting no fucking trouble for doing the racisms. Never. But amazingly, we do live in slightly different times. So I wanted to go to a couple of TikTokers who have been following this diligently and who have been assisting in some of the internet sleuthing. And there have been a little bit of consequences and repercussions for a couple of these here crackers. So let's take a look at that.
I'll identify one more of them. Last night, I identified Stephen Correga as the guy who pulled out a weapon on this black teen for simply walking and existing in his neighborhood. And I do have the name of this guy here too. I've seen you walk by my house like 4 times.
David's concerned since you're walking around my house. I'm not walking around your house. Hold on, Steve. You've been past my house 4 times. I don't know you. I've never seen you here before, and you're walking past my house over and over again.
And I'm identifying this paranoid little as hello, Jeffrey Gardner. I see you deleted your LinkedIn already. Still found you.
And next up will be, you're harassing my wife.
Stephen Correga has been terminated from his job. It was reported a couple of days ago that they were investigating the matter, but they moved forward with terminating him. You can go to their Instagram page and see it for yourself. They posted this statement about 4 hours ago saying, "You may be aware of a concerning video shared on social media which featured one of our employees in the U.S. The individual involved was initially suspended while we investigated the matter. The investigation has now concluded and the individual's employment has been terminated. We expect the conduct of our employees to meet a high standard. LSEG operates a zero-tolerance policy against any form of racism, discrimination, prejudice, or harassment." The empath in me never wants to see someone lose their livelihood, but at the same time it's like your actions have consequences, and for the life of me I just cannot fathom what these guys were thinking. Why didn't they just back off?
I can answer that question, baby, because they're crackers. Okay. The American cracker, I would imagine, much like the South African Afrikaner, right? Kind of like an Elon Musk, right? Just this insistence of being the dominant force anywhere. Like they believe, these crackers, not white men at large, but these crackers feel as though they have dominion and entitlement over everyone and anyone that is not one of them. And this black teen, just by looking at him, not even speaking to him at all, just his appearance tells them very clearly that he is not one of them. So they have the right to interrogate him. They have the right to intimidate him. And this is something that white Americans have had for I'm coming up on 200 years, maybe a little longer. Again, I like the fugitive. I don't like it, but it's an interesting historical marker to me, the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, because it's got us about a decade and some change right before the Civil War. And just putting yourself at me as a black person, attempting to put myself in the shoes of a black person living in this country during that time, and just knowing that my freedom and safety is precarious at best, right? It's tenuous at best. At best, right? And especially as a black woman, enslaved or free, you knew you were susceptible to sexual violence by, again, any white man at any time. Maybe even our black brothers, that same standard can be applied to them also. But when you look at the biracial or mixed race population of the 13 colonies or the contiguous United States at that time, it's pretty clear, definitely who was being violated. Because who else is having all these mixed children? The white women's? Nope, we know that. So anyway, a little bit of dare I say high-tech lynching. That coon Clarence Thomas complained of a high-tech lynching. Well, let this man Stephen Karenga claim that he himself was the victim of a high-tech lynching. But don't fret for Stephen, who got relieved of his duties from his job. I wonder sometimes how these whites who get exposed online as racists, who might lose access to their employment at the time of the exposure of the racism, I always wonder how they end up faring later. So my guess is that Steve here lost his job in the short term. Someone's going to offer Steve a job. One of his buddies got a job for him. Yeah, buddy. I saw how they railroaded you. I saw how the woke media railroaded you, buddy. You were just trying to keep your neighborhood safe, buddy. Yeah, I know, buddy. That guy lived in your neighborhood, but how in the hell are you supposed to know that he was black? What was he doing in your neighborhood? How are you supposed to know he lived there? I always wonder, like, especially even the blackface white teens or the teens that spell nigger in their homecoming attire and they post a picture on social media. It's like, I wonder how they end up faring in life. My guess is they fare fine. as racists before them have always fucking fared, right? But this whole notion that once a white person is exposed as racist, that somehow they're canceled, somehow they're being captured by the cancel culture. Now they can't work no more. You got people who say that dumb shit obviously has no idea how whiteness works in America. You might get temporarily set back by being outed as a racist, but is it enough to erase your standing amongst all the whites? Absolutely not. Does it actually improve your standing amongst some of the whites? It absolutely will. So, good news for you racists. It's only a temporary setback, baby. Your cancellation is not permanent, if at all, right? So, anyway, shout out to that young man. Keep your head held high, young brother. Walk where you want to walk. But be aware that this is still America and you are still black in America and all that comes along with that. So, gang, I'm going to turn you loose. I'm going to give you up and turn you loose. I appreciate all that are in here joining us tonight. Again, if you're with us right now, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We appreciate it. I think YouTube is trying to step on my shit a little bit. So try to boost the shit as you see it. Like, even if you just I'm back on this shit again. Even if you just write comment in the comments, I will be satisfied with you writing comment in the comments, which is fine. And I appreciate those that always come through and comment and engage. What's up, Will?
Just again want to thank the people that got us a super chat. AKW Beats, thank you again. Thank you for your super chat. John Kemper says some love here. Thank you for that.
Thank you, John.
Stren, thank you for your super sticker. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Stren. Thank you, Stren.
Can I get paid to troll top Mala chats? LOL, of course. If we could do it, we would. Thank you for your super chat. Susie Stone, love Burn It Down. Keep it up. Jill Stein, Bunchy War 2024.
Hey, Butchware.
Not in my name, not in my tax dollars. Thank you for your super chat. Latif as well.
Hey, thank you. Latif.
Also, Commuted. Thank you for your super chat. Shine That Light and Sugar Shan.
Thank you, Sugar Shan. Thank you.
Closed mouths don't get fed. So
that's right. Appreciate that. Jesus, about to call you ear doctor. Shout out to the ear doctor, by the way, guys. Go on over to Black Liberation Media. You know, the ear doctor and I are the lumpkins, you know, a play on Marx's term of the lumpen economy. But, you know, ear doctor and I didn't read Marx, nigga. So we the lumpkins. Neither one of us read Marx. Even Kamala said the lumpen economy. Me and ear doctor looked at each other like, the lumpkins, nigga? Oh, okay, we are the lumpkins. Cool. So me and ear doctor, aka the lumpkins, we host a classical breakdown. In this episode, we broke down the year 1978. That is my birth year. Ching. And it was a great year for music. Shout out to Reverend Dr. Jared Ball, by the way, who pointed out this morning on the Remix Morning Show that I omitted Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers, Bustin' Loose, which, by the way, thank you, Dr. Ball. You was correct about that. And it was unintentional. It was an oversight on my part. And probably about 2 hours after the classical breakdown show yesterday, that light bulb went off in my head. I said, I did not put Chuck Brown on the fucking 78 joint. So that was my bad. So I suck for that. But otherwise, Ear Doctor and I really enjoyed ourselves, and I appreciate all that run us support during classical breakdown. It is really, really appreciated, and thank you guys, and thanks for everyone that tunes in. So go over there and check that out. Tomorrow, Saturday on Black Liberation Media, please check out Saturdays with Renee. Renee was on her Brooklyn Bully. Remind me. Actually, you don't need to remind me, nigga, because I know better. I don't want it. I don't want it with the girls from Brooklyn, New York. I don't want it. I won't blow no smoke in their direction because I don't want it. I don't want it in return. And this morning on the Remix Sports Show was reasons why. Nope. I don't want no smoke with them Brooklyn gals, them double R's. No, thank you. I will hard pass. They got it. y'all got it. Saturdays with Renee, 11 a.m. Please go check that out on Black Liberation Media. Please subscribe and support over there as well. So, gang, that's us. We gone. Please have a wonderful and safe weekend. Thank you to all who have supported and continue to support. And I will see y'all back here on Tuesday, I promise. And thanks again. Thank you to Will and Molly. And to y'all's, the Fire Fams, the real MVPs, to you and you and you and all of you in the back and in the middle and the front. Yo, see y'all. Love y'all. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys.